Everything is going extremely well.
And now, showtime.
Yay, everybody. Why do I have this up there? Boom. There we go. Welcome to the show today. It is great to see you all. Today, we're talking about something very important. So we're going to get into the exact system to double your meta ad profits in 90 days. We're also going to do some updates on Disruptor tools. We're doing a giveaway for the masterclasses that are in Disruptor Academy. We're dropping a new masterclass every single week. This week's masterclass is on TikTok Shop. So we're going to do that giveaway, plus answer all of your questions and all of your comments for the week, and give a sneak peek for the content that's coming out next week. And for all of you enjoying Black Friday and you're shopping and have a lot of fun, for all of you doing media buying on Black Friday, I get it. I've been there. I've done that. I've been part of it, doing it for well over a decade. I understand. And today is really about how to maximize the profits from your Black Friday efforts. And really, you can do this across the entire year. And this is the exact process that I'm currently using. And one of the reasons why Black Friday for me is going to be some, refreshing some dashboards or, and taking a look at some stuff, but it's not a lot of heavy lifting today. And it won't be heavy lifting. Actually, this is some of the easiest time of the year for everybody that's doing media buying right. And especially if you're somebody recovering from an ad agency that was launching dozens or hundreds of ads, or somebody that's got like 5, 10, 20 campaigns going on right now. If you've got one campaign but 40 ad sets, this is a perfect video for you. What we're going to teach you today is quite literally how to spend less and less time every day in the platform and make more and more money while you're doing it. If you are currently sitting with 30, 50, 100 ads in your ad account, I'm going to tell you today. I'm going to tell you, you don't have to launch another ad probably until at least January. And I'm going to show you why right here, right now. So all that being said, let me get this off of here. All right, let's throw the comments on the stage. If you have any comments, let me know. Drop them in the chat. If you like these videos, by the way, just go ahead and share them. And with that being said, let's dive into it. Also, by the way, Disruptor Academy has an Instagram account now. It's at Disruptor Academy. Check it out if you want to. There's nothing there yet, but there will be very soon. Anyway, let's get to it today. So this is the exact system to double your meta ad profits in 90 days. And it's not just because of the time of year. It's a better system. Now, raise your hand if this sounds like you. You're spending more and more time than ever, but making less. More and more time and money. And the problem isn't effort. It's what you've been told to measure. Now, for over the last 5 years and across over $1 billion in spend, I've used one system to dramatically improve profits over and over again. And it's a simple step. It's a simple step-by-step process. It's I think we're going to cover 8 steps today. So let me show you exactly how it all works. Step number 1 is we're going to audit the account. Most advertisers are tracking the wrong thing. They're chasing CPA. They're chasing ROAS. But neither of those actually tells you if you're buying profit. And you could say, well, ROAS is profit. No, it isn't. So what we're going to do is instead, we're going to focus on GPT. That's gross profit per transaction. Now, GPT tells you how much profit you earn per sale. Now, the way we figure out GPT is you can make a custom metric, which is AOV minus CPA. And let's actually get into the ad account real quick. I'm going to just show you exactly how to do that in my ad account today. Though the purpose of GPT is that instead of ROAS is a relationship, GPT is also a relationship, but it's not a margin. It's not saying, well, this was 3x profitable and that was 10x profitable, because those things don't actually mean anything. It's great that you're 10x profitable, but if that's on $1, who cares? And so with all that being said, let's open up the demo business manager here, okay? And we're going to go ahead and just share the screen. And I've got a lot more details on all this stuff. We're going to be releasing them sooner than later. Let's go ahead and hit share. Yeah, I also get to connect with a marketing pro. Yeah, who cares? I'm not going to do that. Now, here's what we need to do. We can go to columns and go to customize columns. I'm going to zoom in real quick so even the folks on the vertical can get there. Now, we're going to go to custom, and we're going to create a custom metric. Now, in here, you can drop this down and type in a whole bunch of stuff, but I hate that. Let's go here. Average purchases conversion value. Now, this is your AOV, okay? I'm going to get rid of this little banner across the screen. Boom. By the way, yeah, if you want to join Disruptor Academy, you can. There's the QR code. Boom, right there. Now, all this being said, average purchases conversion value. That is what is the average transaction worth. Now, if you look at your ads, if you scroll past your ads, you're going to see it really easily that no two ads have the same AOV. Even if you have the same, or even if you only have one product that only has one price, unless people can only ever buy one and you never run discounts, all of the AOVs for every single ad are different. And it's because they attract different types of customers. Some ads are going to get people that want to buy 3 of a thing. Other ads are going to attract the folks who are only willing to buy if they can throw the discount on it. All of that matters. So we have the cost, we have the how much the transaction is worth, and then we're going to subtract from that the cost per purchase. I'm going to call this GPT, boom, and we're going to turn this into money. Awesome. So this is AOV minus CPA. Now, you can make this available to everyone in your business. What we have here is how much is the transaction worth minus how much did it cost to get. Now, as a quick example of this, you could say, I have a transaction, my AOV is, I don't know, let's say it's $30 and my CPA was 15. Okay, so my ROAS is at 2. Now, my GPT would be $15. I double my money every time I make a sale, and every time I make a sale, it's worth $15. Okay. Now, there's the false equivalency to say, well, you could double your money, so just spend $10,000, but that's not the case, right? There's not an infinite supply of buyers for your product, especially with your ads. So instead of trying to say I want to double my money with everything, which again doesn't matter, and as a note, 100x ROAS, right? 100x return on $100 is the same thing as a 1% return on $1 million. Okay, so just understand that there are very different things. Plus, people who spend more money are far more likely to spend money with you again. And when they do it, they're more likely to spend more money with you again. Discount buyers are the least brand loyal. Now, here's the system. We're auditing the account with this metric. Now, the other thing that's important here. So if we have a AOV of 30 and a CPA of 15, we have a ROAS of 2, and our GPT is $15. We made $15 on that sale. Obviously, there's cost of goods and all that other stuff, but ROAS doesn't account for it either. So a lot of people in the comment section that are going to hate on me for, well, it doesn't include the cost of goods and OpEx. None of these metrics do. Okay, so you made $15. All right. Now, what if your AOV was $50 and it costs you 30 to make the sale? Well, your ROAS isn't close to 2, right? It's maybe over 1.5. So the ROAS is a lot worse, relatively speaking. But you made $20 on the sale. AOV here is $50. Cost per purchase is 30. The gap is $20. The ROAS is a lot less, relatively speaking. And let's quantify that, okay? Let's quantify exactly what that ROAS is. Let's go to our favorite calculator. Let's go to chat. No, we don't need to do this. Okay, so first we have 30 divided by 15. Okay, this is the ROAS number that we had, 2. Now, if we do 50 divided by 30, that's a ROAS of 1.6. You could say, oh, this ad is 34% worse, but it makes you $5 more every sale. If you're going to make 10 sales, why not make $5 more on every single sale? For customers who are more likely to come back and spend again. This is simple. This is easy math. So the point is, you can begin to do this. And once you do this, once you begin to look at your ad account with GPT, you're going to begin to notice a couple really important things. If you scroll through your ads, you're going to see it fast. Some cheap ads don't really make any money. And some high CPA some high CPA ads are carrying the whole business. Now, most accounts are cluttered with duplicates and noise, and all of that confuses Andromeda. I know a lot of the chuckle fucks out there that are trying to push tech to launch 1,000 ads and have ad agencies that require them to make a bunch of creative for you are going to tell you launch every single ad possible to get the best possible ROAS you can on any ad, or the best CPA, or any of that stuff. But here right away, we already pointed to none of that actually matters, right? It's what is the way of acquiring the best customer who's worth the most money? GPT will tell us that. So right away, this audit cuts through all of that noise. And you can begin to say, well, we have 100 ads. Some of them have a ROAS of 10, but they won't, like, it doesn't matter. I don't care. What makes me the most money in a way that is repeatable? You're going to find that there are ads that are buying the most profit. And what you want to do is ignore the rest. And that brings us to step number 2. We want to value map the ads. All right. Now I've got a visual for this as well. So let's pull that up. I probably should have prepped this one a little bit earlier. Let's get to can I just do a draw? Here we go. We're going to draw something here. Where's just the easiest thing? Just give me a thing. Sketch. Awesome. Okay. Boom. I don't care. Now what we can do, we can draw ourselves a little line across. Yeah, okay. All right, so we have ourselves a little line. I'm just going to refresh this. Okay. Boom. So we have ourselves a little line across. Now this line can be our GP. Oh man, this is terrible. Okay, hold on a sec. We're going to do this a bit better. We're going to go sketch.io. My apologies, people. I want to do this stuff live. Anyway, here we go. GPT, okay? So this is, let's get something better. Can we do a paintbrush? Cool. That's not going to work. All right, I'm done with this. We're just going to scrap that and do one more sketch. Oh, really? How do I get a new one? Is there no just new? Okay, whatever. Point is, this line across, I want you to draw this, okay? Now, this line is GPT, with the worst GPT being over here on the left and the best GPT being over here on the right, okay? Now we're going to draw a line down the middle, okay? Now this is your CPA, with the best CPA being up here, CPA. Oh, that's CR. Wow, look at me. I just had a kid. Sorry, so there's your CPA. All right. This is your best CPA, the lowest CPA you've got, and down here is your worst CPA, so it's the most expensive. Now, why this matters, you can plot the CPA on one axis and the GPT on the 4, and this gives you 4 different groups. And I've got a video coming out that'll do this a lot better, okay? Now, what we have here are 4 different kinds of ads, okay? And so if we come in here and let's get, can I just get a color? Boom. All right, let's do this. Sweet. So what we have here is a few different kinds of ads. Now, we have ads that are down here, okay? This is in this section. These are the ads that have the highest CPA because they're down here, right? So they're the worst CPA. And they have the lowest GPT, the worst GPT, right? So GPT, that's a G. Bear with me. Anyway, so these are all of our bad ads. I don't care what the ROAS is, and odds are it's not great, but I don't care. These are the ads that are terrible. If I've got 20 ads in my account, if I have 100 ads in my account, the easiest way to understand what ads are working for me, these are our liabilities. These are the things we need to get rid of, okay? Now, over here in this section, let's give ourselves another little color here. Let's give ourselves this orange, okay? Let's start actually up here. We're going to go up to this page. So up here, where our GPT is still bad, but our CPA is good, over in this section, these are our fake wins. Now, you'll find a lot of ads that sit over here based on cost caps and a bunch of other things, and 1,000 different ads, especially on a 4PI, that'll show it is way lower in the funnel. These ads have a better than average CPA. They're super cheap, but the GPT on them sucks. Maybe this is in the previous example of the $15 CPA for the $30 AOV, or the $30 CPA for the $50 AOV. This might be the $10 CPA for a $15 AOV. The GPT on it's only $5. Now, It could also be a $4 ad with a $5 AOV. And so the ROAS is well over 2, but it's not good. Every time you make a sale to that customer is worth a lot less to you than anybody else. This is a fake win. Now, let's move into some happier spaces. Let's go ahead and get ourselves a little bit of this. Okay, now, down here in this section, where our CPA is worse than average, meaning it's above the average of the account, but the GPT is better than average, meaning it's above the average of the account. So the AOV is well above average. These are our optimizers. Now, you can always reduce the CPA of an ad. It's almost impossible to improve the AOV. So it's very difficult to make the GPT better by making the average order value more. Remember that metric we had here, right? The average order value minus the cost per purchase. It's almost impossible to make this number, the AOV, bigger at the ad level with an ad that's already running. But you can get the cost per purchase to be less. So these ads here, where the GPT is above average, right? Their CPA is too high, but we're still making more money per transaction than on average. Every one of these ads, even though the CPA is higher and the ROAS is probably worse, is better than any ad here, okay? This is much better than anything you're going to find here or here for your bank account. I don't care what the ROAS says. I don't care what the CPA says. This is more profitable per transaction than anything else. Now, let's go to Happy Days, all right? This here, okay? Let's see. I don't know what I'm doing. All right, we're going to do this right over here. This is where our CPA is below average and where our AOV or our GPT is above average. So if you have 50 ads in your ad set or 30 ad sets in your campaign or 12 campaigns running, anything where your CPA is below average, meaning it's cheaper than average to make a sale, and the profitability on that sale is above average, meaning that essentially, again, going back to the math here, your CPA there might be really cheap, but your AOV doesn't have to be better. Or your CPA is high, but your AOV is even better. The relationship between those two in absolute dollars and cents, real money, is better. It's a below average CPA and an above average GPT. So the CPA is better than average, and the GPT, boop, the GPT is better than average, okay? This box, these are our scalers. Now, this is how you ultimately understand what's going on inside your ad account. Hello, David. So this instantly shows you what's going on in your business. It instantly tells you what's burning money, all of this stuff, right? All of this is junk you can get rid of. So step 3 is let's create a plan. Go back to your account. Begin to highlight all of the ads that are scalers and liabilities and fake wins. Which ones actually produce profit? And if you only ran these ads in the upper right-hand corner, your account becomes way more stable, predictable, and scalable. And if you wanted to project just how much better could it be, you could go to your ad account. And I have a video coming out on Monday that shows this in a much deeper process with a real ad account that I took from $500 a day to $12,000 a day in profit. $500 a day in spend to $12K a day in profit in 12 weeks. So that'll be fun. Real ad account showing everything, basically just blurred out like the ad account name and some ad names and stuff, but like all the numbers are there. Anyway, the point is, so stay tuned for Monday to watch that video, called The Exact Process to Double Your Ads in 90 Days. So anyway, that'll be fun. Point is, you can take a look at these. Now, if you wanted to go into your ad account and just highlight all the ads that were in this section and maybe some of the ads that are here. So these ads and these ads. Now, these are probably going to also only be like 10, 20% of the ads that you have. But if you were to take a look at that, out of your 50 ads, your 100 ads, if you unfortunately have way too many ads going, and by that I mean more than like 5 to 10. Yeah. If you've got like 15 ads going, you are wasting money. Because odds are so much of your ad spend is over here. No, we don't want that to be green. This is bad. So odds are the majority of your money being spent, or the majority of your ads, are in this space. When I see accounts, sometimes it's as high as 85%. Now, I'm not saying you should turn off all your ads right away, but the plan is simple. You want to begin to try to scale this. Now, the easiest way to do that is you turn off these ads. Now, you don't do it right away. You have to remember that anytime you make a change, if that change, just like pushing your budget by 20%, 50%, 100% is really volatile, turning off ads that represent that much of your spend is also really volatile. But you can go in and just sort by amount spent. Let's say you spent $1,000 or $100,000. What are the biggest pieces you can turn off? Let's say we spent $1,000 over the last week. Do we have an ad that spent like $85 and something else that spent like 15 and it's all in this space, right? Now remember, also zero is a high AOV. Zero sales is a high, sorry, not a high AOV. Zero sales is bad, right? So out of all of that, maybe we have 3 ads that together spend about $85 out of the 1,000 that we've spent. Those ads are all in this space. If you turn those off, that's an 8.5% change. That's less than 10%. It's the same thing as raising the budget. But now you're putting all of your money is now going to go. Let's see. Can we get a shape in here? That's a star. Ooh, no? Okay. All of that money is going to start going to this stuff and to that stuff and to that stuff. You're immediately scaling the efficiency of your ads. And if you want to see what that would look like, you could highlight all of the bad ads or highlight all of the good ones and just see what the difference in the performance is. If you highlight all of your bad ads, odds are your performance, if you only ran those, would be a lot worse. And if you only ran your good ads, it would be a lot better. You can't just turn off all the bad ones, but your plan here is simple. Keep the profit positive ads and you cut and limit everything else. You start by cutting this and then you cut this. And these ads over here and these ads over here, the ads that you find over here in the optimizers and over here in the fake wins, these ads, generally speaking, these ads in your fake wins, I got to get another color. Let's do purple. Okay. These ads in your fake wins will probably start to come down here. These ads in your optimizers will probably start to come up here. Some of these ads in your optimizers are going to slip over to here. But everything is going to shift closer to the middle. Because as you get rid of these, your average gets better. So even your good ads look worse relatively because you're raising the middle ground. The average ad performance is just getting better. So the point is, you are making the entire ad account better, not by launching more ads, but by doing something that actually makes sense. Instead of making it more complicated, you're removing all of the noise, right? You're just getting rid of all of this junk. And as a result, you're going to be spending your money where it's cheaper to make a sale to acquire more profit. And that's what this is really all about. So with all that being said, I'm going to just get rid of this because I feel like we're in a bit of a mess. Let's leave this on the screen for right now. Every change will also shift how Andromeda learns. Remember, every percentage of spend is a percentage of change. So if you turn off a 1% ad, that's like a 1% change. A 50% ad is a 50% change. That's a full reset. And it's the same thing, again, we see with budgets moving more than 20% is really going to reset the learning. So the same thing happens here. So the rule here is simple. Let's get back to the sketchpad, okay? Man, this thing is destroyed. But I'm having fun. I'm hoping this is getting across, all right? So here's our GPT. Here's our, oh, come on. Our CPA. Okay, this is an undo. Okay, Brad. Can I do this? Okay, whatever. So, and this is GPT. Rad. I see the comments popping up. Don't worry, I see you. So anyway, we make the smallest moves with the highest confidence, and then we can record and watch how the system responds. We audit, we plan, we optimize, we measure, we repeat. And that is how you scale without chaos. Just by removing the bad ads, you're going to be able to scale the business in a way that makes a lot more sense. And this is how you also program the algorithm, because now the machine can see what good looks like. Instead of launching more and more ads to make it more and more complicated, you're actually making it simpler and simpler. Andromeda studies who buys, how they buy, and why. Then it finds more people that are like them, faster and cheaper. But this only works with clean signals. Weak ads send mixed signals. So reduce the noise and the system compounds your best work automatically. You're not just running ads, you're training the most powerful sales engine on earth. And again, this is what we talked about in Disruptor Academy to get you set up, and it's free to join. Okay, it's $0 right now. We have a premium version. Anyway, point is, if you do this stuff, you're going to start printing money on autopilot. With clean signals, everything compounds. Over the next 12 weeks, you can see your spend rise gradually. Your CPA will stay stable and your GPT will get better. You're going to stop chasing performance and start managing momentum. The machine scales the winners without launching new ads or changing budgets because you're just getting rid of the waste instead of adding more of it. This is how you, step 7, scale intelligently. All right. Once you scale profitably, your brand grows everywhere because as you raise your budget, you get more search, more site visits, more visibility. And what this means is your creative strategy has to evolve because it's not by rebuilding all of your ads, but by understanding how Andromeda actually thinks. And this is where ads stop fatiguing and performing for months. And that's really the next level of scaling. And if you want to know more about how to read the ads and take a look at your 4PI analysis, you can take a look at the video that we launched this week on the account on how Andromeda decides which ads to scale and which ones to ignore. You can also take a look at the live that we had 2 weeks ago, or the video that we had 2 weeks ago here on this channel that will show you exactly how to read the 4 sides of any ad so you can truly understand what's going on in the account. But anyway, I hope you get this. I hope you begin to understand. This is what's really important, okay? It is all about understanding the GPT. It is all about understanding the profitability that you're actually getting on each sale. What matters is how much money does each sale make you. What doesn't matter is the volume of the margin on any of these things, right? So profit margin doesn't mean anything. Profit volume does. Okay, so with all that being said, we got a lot of questions coming up. So we're going to hit the questions. I'm going to go through the queue of the questions here, and then we're going to dive. I'm going to show you a preview of Disruptor tools. We've made some big updates, and then we're going to dive into the comments from all the videos this week. So if you dropped a comment on any video this week, we're going to get to that here in just a minute. I probably should have a version of this that just has, here's what we're going to do. We're going to throw the banner up. Boom, boom, and then join Disruptor Academy at disruptoracademy.com. Awesome. So with that being said, let's go through the comments and bring them up. Let's see. David, always good stuff from the professor. Thank you, David. I appreciate it. I know this one was a bit fun and complicated and messy, but also crazy valuable. What we just talked about right now, by the way, if you have 50 ads running in your account, fire your agency. Don't buy another piece of creative from anybody for the next 40 until January. This alone will maintain or reduce your CPA and improve your GPT every single day. You will only be more profitable. And it will take you 5 minutes a day. Like, I don't know why people aren't doing this. I mean, I do know. It's because folks that don't know what they're talking about and don't care about your bottom line and sell you solutions to problems you don't have, but create the problem to sell you the solution, don't appreciate this stuff. Or they do know it and they don't care about you. Now, BMO, Kaz, absolutely great point here. How do you tell which non-converting ads are the heavy supporters? Like if I have something with 6% CTR but 0 sales, is that a supporter? I mean, first off, Kaz, I don't really give a shit about CTR. But what I do care about is this is a great way to clean up a really complicated ad account. Now, Kaz, BMO Journal has been with us for a long time. Early admin into the academy and has moved up past that. Great writer, by the way. Thank you so much. I'm excited. I'm going to do some more reading of your work over this weekend, and we'll let more people see it, by the way, Kaz. So thank you very much. But if you've got 12 ads, 20 ads, 30, 40, 50, 3 campaigns, 5 campaigns, 10 campaigns, 100 ad sets, like this is how you can take all of that noise and immediately just get better. You can't even begin to apply for PI analysis if you're running 30 ads. Like, it's so complicated. Your system is so fucked to begin with that you can't even make educated choices. You can't even do things that are going to help you be successful because you set yourself up to be in a place where the machine is too dumb to be able to repeat anything. So this is how to understand, how do we get rid of all of the waste so that we can actually make an informed decision? I was on an account with the brand last week, and they were very happy. They had one campaign, and that one campaign had 42 ad sets in it, and the average ad set had 10 to 12 ads in it. Basically means they were running about 400 ads. What I told them was they don't need to launch another ad until March. They looked at me like I was crazy. I showed them this system, and I told them, if you just make your ad account 5 to 10% better 3 to 4 times a week, if you just maintain or reduce CPA while improving the profitability of every single transaction, buying customers who are more likely to spend with you again, why would you make another ad? And they said, well, some ads fatigue and all this other stuff. Like, yeah, but if you just get rid of the ads that suck, instead of launching more ads that creates more fatigue because they're launched at the bottom of the funnel and therefore destabilize everything, what if instead you just let the things that were good have less competition? What if you just scaled the leverage of your ad account instead of scaling the complexity and the instability? So far, they're up about 40% on profitability because they were hyper aggressive, and Black Friday hit. So, I don't know what the results look like today, but obviously there are some seasonality things. But anyway, once you get to a place where you only have half a dozen ads or something like that running, you can see on a 4PI analysis what is sitting way up in the funnel but doing great for you and which ones aren't. And to be fair, if you have 2 things that are great at the top of the funnel and one of them looks a lot better according to these metrics than the other one does, I'd say you don't need an ad that is 6% CTR with 0 sales if something else has a 4% CTR with 0 sales, but all of the other metrics look better. Or maybe it's a 4% CTR with 5% of your sales, and the CPM and frequency is the same. I don't need this thing. This is great, but this is a Ferrari to go grocery shopping. I don't need that. Hey, Charlie, can you also later explain the concept of first scale and second scale? Didn't quite understand that concept. For lead gen, how does that really work? For lead gen, it's almost impossible just because you're not really in control of the second transactions if you are selling leads. But the concept of first scale to second is that first scale is built around scaling a business on the first transaction, making any profit you possibly can. This is what we talked about here today, is optimizing for first scale. Once you then, and we'll get into the disruptor tools in a moment, understand which of those offers set you up for the best second and third transaction, then you run the first scale concepts on the things that get you the most future cash flow, and that's where your business goes absolutely bonkers. And you're going to have people coming to you and be like, I'm going to give you 50 creatives. I can get you 100 creatives. I can get you 1,000. You're like, no, get out of my face with that junk. I'm only touching my ad account for like 90 minutes a week because I want to make money. I'd rather run a business than day trade an ad account. And the more you spend time in the ad account, the less you're spending time in the business and the less money you're making. There is an inverse and direct relationship between time spent in the ad account and money in the bank account. Okay. What if the ad is top of funnel to feed the other ads? If we pause, it wouldn't hurt that account. Yes, it would. But if you have a lot of ads running, then you don't need that one best top of funnel ad. You just need to stop wasting so much money. This is a high quality problem, but it's a step 2 or 3 problem, not a step 1 problem. Hey, I just joined. Sorry if I'm asking a question, might already been explained. If I have a 3 variety of ads for one product, should I launch it as a flex or individually in one ad set? 3 variety of ads. You could launch those as one flex ad. That's fine. Or as 3 different flex ads that are 3 different 322s all in the same ad set. 3 variety of 3 totally different point of views, 3 different problems for a product. I would probably make that 3 different. Here's the thing. You could launch them as one ad and figure out which concept, which version, which one of those 3 POVs worked well, and then make 3 of that. So you go wide and then deep, or you could just do 3 different sets that are already deep and just see which one works best. Let's see. Following up on this question, I've already have 3 ads running in one ad set supporting each other, working as a team. Is it right to create more ads to find new winners, or so to say what's going on? If your results are good enough to raise the budget, don't launch a new ad. That's the worst thing you could do. If your results aren't good enough to raise the budget, then I would try to take a look at what you have going on and seeing what you can do. Oh, there we go. I was wondering what that was. What you have running and what your biggest problems are, so you can build ads to solve that problem. It's funny that you and Jordan didn't seem to like each other, but both talk about the same principles about ROAS as a telemetric to focus on. I agree with you, Aiden. Now, to be fair, Jordan learned that from me. Almost every time that Jordan and I argue, 6 months later, he's quoting what I had to say. Also, Jordan, as an agency owner who wraps himself in the cloak of a brand owner, it does have an agenda on trying to push as much creative as possible and a huge system to look as busy as possible. And we do talk about a lot of the same principles because I've taught him a lot over the years. But he's still coming from a place of defining his value by how much credit for everybody else's work can he take. And how involved in the system can he be? And while I think we actually have a lot in common, one of the things that we don't share is our end goal. Jordan is an agency owner. Agency owners, now to be fair, I have a service where I run ads for people as well, but my service for running ads is I try to basically build the ad account so that you can take it back over. Agency owners are like chiropractors and drug dealers. Their entire best business is to make you dependent on them so that you never can exist without them. And in my opinion, there's something, as a former drug addict, something that is really intellectually dishonest about that approach. All right, last question. So we have customers who do one-off and take same package. Package is high value for people who stick. Is that a second scale? Yeah, if you have people to come back and buy again, that's a second scale. So just get those customers. I can test one ad set, 3 individual ads. Okay, yeah, sure. Yeah, you end with an or, so I don't really know where that's going. Either way, we have to get into some other stuff here, folks. So let's get into, we're going to dive into now a little preview of Disruptor tools, tools.disruptorschool.com. Now, we talked today a lot about, okay, here. And I'm not here to really talk smack about Jordan because he's not really here to defend himself. And whenever he has taken the time to appear, he's never really used that in a way to help other people. So we'll let it be where it is. Anyway, this is Disruptor Tools. You can find it at tools.disruptorschool.com. Now, getting into this, if I were to go into the customer journey insights and I were to upload my Shopify orders, which is just going to your CSV admin, orders, export all orders. Okay, now we're getting the Stripe export soon. It's on the roadmap. Let's get our USA Palm orders, our $5.6 million business here. Let's upload this, 41,000 line items. Okay, we can handle some scale. What's beautiful here is we just talked about how to improve first scale, the optimization. Now, if you were to focus on what products are the best for you, we can focus on a number of second purchases, right? So now we can see this infinity quarter zip has the most second purchases. And you could say, oh yeah, well, they have the most first purchases too. But yes, also, this is a signal in that these are the things that most commonly get people to, if I want to get the most amount of returning revenue, right? So if I want to look at this month by month, and if I want to make this red line as big as possible, I have to sell the thing that's going to get the most people to come back and buy. Now, if you notice, this is 20, 30, 23, 32, 40, 39. Why is that? Well, part of that is because of focusing on the products where we've got the high second purchase rates. And some of these people are buying a third time and a fourth time. Now, the beautiful thing about all of this is we could also just go in here if we wanted to and just type in infinity, and we could see how all of the infinity is working. And you can see that these are all really good numbers, right? But this is what the Customer Journey Insights tool is really going to help us out with. We're going to be able to understand what's happening. And the beautiful thing to me, too, is this most common next purchase, okay? So if I do zip, I can just sort by that. I can see all of the items that are a zip. Boom. And we can see the most commonly bought next product. Now, we've done this before, and we've shown how we should really, in this business, if we just look at XXL, 24, 32, 40, 24, 31, 37, 50. Like the people that are buying these bigger items are coming back and buying more. Maybe it's in a different color or it's a different thing. right? Like this is a great way for us to know who our best customer is, what we should be promoting, and what that product and journey looks like. Now, that to me is incredibly important information. You can also go back to the hero offer intelligence, which is if we begin to focus on the profitability with first scale that we did before, we can now apply that same principle to the hero offer. So we're doing first scale optimization, which is the grid that I talked about, but we focus that only on the product that is the best for the second scale. And now we can sort all of this stuff by what are our top products. You could say, I want to do it by, go through that and try to figure it all out. Or we can just go in here and just say, well, what are the best overall products? What are the best overall things for the highest combined AOVs? And if you look at this one, for instance, the Infinity Quarter zip on the small, interestingly enough, is a bit of an outlier. And that it takes 30 days, but this common AOV, like people are buying a ton of stuff on the second purchase, right? Because they're not just buying the one product. If we take a look at this Raspberry XL, it's 20 days to buy another thing. And the average person that buys this, by the time their second purchase is done, has spent nearly over $900. When somebody takes this one, there's average second and first purchase combined, which is this combined AOV, is nearly $750. Now, I have some of this stuff, which I'm still working on right now, the time to second purchase, but we do see that some people will just come back and buy a thing right away. There's also some delayed stuff. So this is a tool we're figuring out, but this is one of my favorite things here. Top 3 by second purchase rate. Again, we can understand what products people are really digging into. And then we can get into the all products analysis, which is a lot like the other thing. But if we look to the average days to second purchase, or if we want to focus by average combined AOV, maybe we get rid of some of the outliers and we want to scroll down to some more reasonable numbers. Or we could take a look at the most amount of first purchases. This is my favorite way of using it. On average, this Infinity Quarter zip. All right, so let's just do Infinity. Infinity. If you want to look at, instead of 90-day LTV or any of these other numbers, if you just wanted to look at what is the value of the second purchase, when somebody buys this product, on average, they're worth $240, $250, $275, $300, $301, $219. Like this customer is worth over $300. Now, that second purchase is exceptionally cheaper than the first one. So getting somebody to buy this product is the easiest way of getting the most on the combined AOV over here in a way that takes 2 months max to get them to do. And so this is what it's really all about, right? And if we want to go XL, for instance, the XL products, like we can see how these things behave. Now, if you could say, well, that's going to be all products. Okay, well, if we go for medium, if you go for let's do actually space. What am I going to do? Boom, space medium. Okay. The mediums, we got a 190 in here. We got a 179, right? These days to second purchase might be a little bit. This is a lower valuable customer. This is a lower value customer. So we can immediately understand by looking through Disruptor tools what's best for us and what's not. That's what it's really, really, really all about. Okay, makes sense. Yeah, Aiden, I'm glad it does make sense. Yeah, this is how we understand how to grow businesses. Again, you can go to tools.disruptorschool.com to come in and check out Disruptor tools. I think if you buy all 3 of these, it's on sale for like $100. I think these are $39 a piece. We'll get into this one later, but look, we are running out of time. We're running out of time here, people. So let's get to your comments and questions this week from YouTube. Okay, so let's go over here. I'm going to beat up Sam on this other video, by the way. Fun fact, I'm recording this later today. He wrote, "One campaign is stupid. Don't do this ad campaign." I messaged his partner at Moonlighters, and I was like, your boy came for the king, and he missed. I'm going to rip this one up. Out of respect. Sam is a great dude. I've met him in person. Solid guy. But his strategy, his M3 method is basically ad accounts from 10 years ago. And we're gonna use his screenshots and look at his data in a different way. And so again, with respect, just like we done before with reaction videos, we're gonna do those here. So anyway, let's get to community. Love it. All right. Hey, Charlie, I've tried with 2 emails, received the decks via the Meta Summit, but link haven't reserved. All right, Billy. I don't know why that's happening. I apologize. We'll take a look at that, but you can also get them for free in Disruptor Academy. If you join Disruptor Academy, even on the free tier, there's a section called Partner Decks. All right. Let's just do Disruptor, disruptoracademy.com. What? All right. Bring me to safety. What are we doing over here? Okay. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Okay, boom. Love it. We can share here. So if you go to the classroom, we have this section here. We got a whole bunch of stuff coming out. We go to partner decks, and here's all the performance summit decks. Here's all the agency summit decks. The stuff on opportunity score, the agency success, the creator marketing tools. Like some of these are like 5 pages. Some of these are like 20. It's too large to preview. Yeah, it's too big to show. Like massive stuff in here. Okay. So you can go ahead and check that out. By the way, this is what Disruptor Academy looks like. We are at 945 people. Let's just go to the membership here. I hear from YouTube. Love it. Approve. Avoid to pick the fruit. Yes, if you pick the fruit, you will be approved. If you do not pick the fruit, you will not be approved. Okay. And just for the record, we've been blowing up here. I just want to show you guys. Look at this growth. Bam. We are 641 new. Love it. That's what I'm talking about. Anyway, let's get back over to here. Share this tab instead. So if you join there, Billy, you should get it and you'll be good to go. Hey, Charlie, in control and 2 other DCT sets. What does the retargeting ad set fit within the same campaign? The retargeting ad set would be one of those 2. However, if you're doing broad retargeting, it could be an additional control ad set, or you could have your creative testing be done as as in that broad retargeting sense. Let's blow this up so people can see it a bit more. Okay. One more time. All right. Here we go. I have a question for you as a media buyer recording December campaigns. I want to run a Christmas promotional campaign for my SaaS. My questions are, should I turn on my evergreen? No. For the evergreen campaign targeting, so use broad retargeting. I love that. Yes, just do the broad retargeting, get people across the finish line. Don't turn off your evergreen effort. The purpose of this campaign, because it is not evergreen, is to add additional value and to give you leverage points. I promise you, during the month of Christmas, the majority of your revenue is going to be coming from the ads that were running a month ago. And by the way, this video, how to be a media buyer, I literally lay out the exact step-by-step process that I used to go from $10 an hour to paying myself $1 million last year. Show the receipts, a bunch of tools, fantastic stuff. Can't wait. Yeah, David, check it out. How does Andromeda affect catalog ads? Should I be changing the images on my store? It doesn't. Don't even worry about it. The impact of Andromeda has been wildly overstated. Well, it hasn't. Andromeda at its core is basically made doing things the wrong way more expensive and doing things the right way better. Hey, Professor, really nice video. Divi, I appreciate you just trying to get ads on my stuff. But anyway, BMO, can we talk about Golden Bear in the era of Andromeda? BMO, we can absolutely do that, Kaz, in the MBA program. So go ahead and drop that question in the MBA community. We'll dive into it. The folks here haven't dropped the money to talk about Golden Bear, and to be fair, even if they understood it at a high level, all of the nuances that we talk about in the MBA program, we just could never begin to address all that stuff here. How does Andromeda affect local ads targeting for Chiros? I don't know what Chiros is. What is Chiros? People are sitting there looking at your screen like, he doesn't know what Chiros is. Oh, Kairos. See, look at that. Okay. For Kairos, it doesn't. Don't worry about it. Still do all of the things that we talk about here all the time. Run as few ads as you need to get a result that's good enough to increase your budget. Focus on 4 PI. If your results are good enough and you can't scale your budget because the market is too small, then figure out how to run the optimization we talked about at the beginning of this so you can reduce your budget. Maybe for website, but DM ads are tough. BF Fit, it's the exact same thing. Becoming a YouTuber, I'm sure. Charlie, I love you, not romantically, obviously. Hey, Julia, whatever floats your boat. Appreciate it. Lena, bro said a whole lot of nothing, but sounds cool in practice. Make CBO use different ads, different angles. You do that and realize 90% of the budget ends in the ads that make people interact with your meta, not your page. Okay. You said more than him. Thank you for not wasting 20 minutes of my life. Everybody's selling different things about Andromeda right now. No worry. If you have a solution, let me know. Lena, like, what's your problem? Lena, I would love if you can tell me what your problem is. Lena, if you watch this, let me know what the problem you're having is, and I will give you the solution, okay? Goose, great video. You're welcome, buddy. Hey, Charlie, so with Andromeda, are you using 322 only in your testing ad sets, or are you using them in control? I'm almost exclusively using them in my testing ad sets. Very rarely do I have 322s in my control ad set. Generally, because my control ad set is built only of the unicorns from the testing ad sets of the 322s and then grabbing those post IDs. But every now and again, I'll move one over, but that is like 10% max. Hey, Charlie, how many days can we turn off, pause a campaign and turn it back on without losing any data? So I get this question a lot. And let me be very clear. We're going to go ahead and just do this real quick, okay? We're going to do this. When you turn off your campaign or you turn it back on or any ad set or any ad, the ad set, the campaign doesn't lose any data. The reason that it performs differently when you turn it back on is because everything else has changed. If you were to take a look at your ad from a week ago or a month ago and take a snapshot of exactly what it looked like that day versus today, there's going to be a difference. Now, if you run that ad for another month and take a look at it again, there's going to be a difference from today. If you turn it off and turn it back on in a month, there's going to be a difference from today. Now, on the first day, there might be some funky thing because it's going from 0 to something. But by day 2, by day 3, the reason that ad performs differently is because the entire market has shifted. And it always will. The amount of money being spent by your brand and everybody else, the amount of ads being run by your brand and everybody else, the amount of consumer intent behind that product, service, or offer has changed. The CPMs and the market conditions, that's what shifts. When you turn an ad off and turn it back on, you don't get to see gradually the change occurring. It's just like, oh, you shut the door and you open it back up and then it evolved, right? But the thing is that the entire existence has changed. The ad itself hasn't. It appears to have changed, but only because you're looking at it from a stationary place. So yeah, it's okay to do it. I run comedy shows in Australia, mostly Australia. I previously had good success with running video as conversions for the act and going to a certain city for a month or so. Now I'm thinking about the M3 strat from Sam Polero and has been talking about essentially splitting the ads into dated batches, retention, and completely broad. Got to watch Luxury's videos. I'm writing that dude. Asked about the live tickets. Yeah. So Sam Polero's style of having prospecting, retargeting, retention is fine. If you want to do that, understand that each one of those campaigns needs to have a different business objective, which is also okay. But if you're trying to sell tickets in a city, you do not have an ecosystem that is robust and evergreen and large enough to suffice probably more than one campaign. You could probably get away with having some hero ads get attention. You can do your creative testing ads, your 322s to full broad, and your control ads to broad retargeting. So you're basically just hitting the people who are already aware of you with your best ads, your unicorns, and you're using everything else to see what can get attention. You can take his entire M3 strat and drop it into 3 ad sets, even 2 within one campaign, and you will get a better result that is easier to manage. Can you suggest a book for understanding meta ads? There's a lot of them. I don't really suggest them because honestly, like your best books for understanding ads are all about consumer psychology and data science. I will say this, meta ads is not a thing that I think you should be reading books about, because understanding the business, learning how to fish is going to be far more valuable. So how many ads and ad sets is proper? I think, I'll put it to you this way, Peyton. The more ads you have, the harder it is for the machine to know what to do, and the more difficult it is for you to understand what's going on. I don't think you need more than 5 or 6 ads in your control ad set. And I think your control ad set doesn't need to have more than 1 or 2 other ad sets that test against it inside of a CBO. I think the more you get away from that, the more difficult it will be. I'm having a hard time understanding how many ads I should have active in which budget. Your budget has no impact on the number of ads. If you're spending $100,000 a day, I don't know that you need dramatically more ads than if you're spending $1,000 a day. The only difference that you would is because you're probably pushing. Now that is per campaign. Now you might have 4 or 5 different campaigns because you have 4 or 5 different business objectives. So you would multiply that optimal number by how many business objectives you're trying to support. But yeah, if you want a hard number, 5 ads in your winners and 2 dynamic creative tests, 2 3-2-2 ads. Now that can be done as 2 ad sets. It can be done as 3. If you don't have the budget to get out of learning, you can do that as 1. Don't launch all the same styles if you need diversity. Yes, launch new ads frequently. No, you don't need frequently. Please don't do it frequently. They need to complement to each other. I think that's all they gathered from this video. I will fare well. I love it. The only thing is this frequently part. Please drop the YouTube link for the delivery. Oh, yeah. I will look into it. But honestly, Bun, if you just go to my channel and just look for creative diversity, that's the title of the video. You should be able to see it. Thank you for the best wishes on little Augie getting born. Now this makes sense. I'm so glad. Nigeria, welcome, Nigeria. Why is this guy? Does this guy always talk like this? I don't know what that means. Yes. I don't. I'm not any different online than I am in person. I'm just this guy everywhere. Hey, Charlie, I'm a little confused. Aren't 3-2-2 ads and separate ad sets because you have learned leave the ads in the same set? Yes, they're in separate ad sets if you can afford to get that out of learning. If you're on a smaller budget, which is 100K funnel was really built around small budget. I think I spent $3,000 and made 150 out of it because it was a high ticket product. So we didn't have the conversion volume to get out of learning. So it was all in one ad set. Always great value. You're welcome. Healthcare company, multiple doctors, different services. In that case, there'd be multiple personas having different medical issues. Yes, you could use that as a justification for launching a ton of different things. But my question is, why do you need to focus on anything more than the best type of customer? You've got multiple doctors, multiple services, multiple personas. Okay, great. Each doctor could have its own campaign, sure. Or it depends on what is success. Do you need to fill the calendar for each doctor? Then yes. If it's just getting this healthcare company as many customers as possible, push whatever gets them the most. So basically saying that create ads for limited personas because more personas will make it more confusing to the algorithm. Yes. But I wonder why big brands don't run 3 or 4 ads. They always have a lot, 20, 50, 100 at least at the same time. I mean, one, because they might not be good at running ads. Most big brands, media buying isn't their strength. Like, look at Alex Hormozi. He's huge. His ad strategy is shit, but it's because he doesn't need it to be good, right? I run ads for some people where I'm one of the best at running ads, and my email is terrible. Looking at my ability as a media buyer on the ad account is not a reflection of how good my email system is. If you have a solid business model where you're amazing at getting attention for free, maybe don't listen to that person when it comes to how to run ads because it's not their skill set. Don't copy Nike if you want to build a sneaker company. You just don't copy a brand that is doing a different business than you are, that is in a different space in business as you. Let's say there's a 3-2-2 ad with 12 variations. The number of ways could be 12 ads. It's already a big number. Yes, if Meta can learn. Now, here's the thing. A 3-2-2 ad, in the example that we're talking about here with the next phase of Facebook ads, which I highly recommend people take a look at this video. It is, I think, in my opinion, one of the best videos I've ever made. Each one of these ads, each one of the 3-2-2 is a single data point. And that's why 3-2-2 ads are amazing. Flex ads, dynamic creative. All of those variations are one ad because they're all pushing all that information into one place. Now, they have different post IDs you can extrapolate from it, but for the purpose of the math, it is one ad. It is not 12 ads. Because the machine is seeing that one flex ad as a single ad unit when making the choice of where to spend money. But the issue is that Meta can't give good results with the next number of ads, with the scalability of the whole thing becomes unpredictable and fragile. Yes, I agree with him. Just be clear, as I saw Javi Coffee, as he mentioned in this video, and the ads there, they have dozens of ads running. I don't know why they're running that many ads. You should ask Matt. But he's doing well. He's spending $4 to $6 million a month. There you go. And maybe it might start slow with many ads. I really appreciate all this back and forth. Over time, performs better. Yeah, you guys kind of got it. At 45 minutes, instead of having larger men and women, you could run medium models to medium buyers, larger audience. Haha. Yeah, you could, Chilsey, but why? Why would I want to sell medium-sized products? If this is, by the way, a video where we pulled up the Disruptor tools on the last version of the tech. Why would I want to sell those medium-sized products? I don't want to sell them. That customer's worse for me. I'll let people buy them, but I don't want to sell them. Like, I don't want to invest money to move those units. because I have a better thing to invest my money on. You should try rapping and be the best in the world. Okay, these are all the old video comments. I need to actually comment back to all of those people and say that we address what their needs are. Anyway, I hope you guys loved all that. Now, a couple of things here. We've got a few more videos coming up. The next video coming out on the 1st is the exact system, although I'm going to do a reaction video to Sam, so that might come out on Wednesday. So there's nothing on the 3rd right now. We also have an account audit coming out in 2 weeks. We have the Andromeda update strategy coming out a little bit after that, and another audit video coming. Anyway, folks, we have a lot of stuff happening here. I really hope that you all enjoy this. Please jump into Disruptor Academy. I can't tell you just how much people are winning there, how amazing it is to see people there, and just how exciting and fulfilling it is to have folks. We have at least 1, if not 2 calls every week in that community. The calendar's got a bunch of stuff. If you take a look here, we've got calls all the time. The classroom, we're building out courses. We have so many more courses coming in. And with that all being said, we're going to end this. We're giving away the TikTok Shop Blitz method strategy from our buddy Jordan, not Menard, Jordan that I respect, Jordan West. And so what we did was we went into the giveaway here. Now, I've already done this, by the way. We have, all we ask you to do is just share any video to be entered. Okay, so we have Farhat, we got Nikki, and we own Wazoo. Okay, awesome. And all you had to do was basically go in and just share how it was going. So we are running out of time. I was going to do the whole spin the win, but I was running out of time here. I just want to say that, let me pull it up here real quick on my other screen. Let's see who won. Oh, it's Nikki. Nikki, you have won the thing here, the Masterclass giveaway. Super excited. So Nikki, I will go into your Disruptor Academy account and grant you access to that Masterclass, and we will launch another one next week. I think next week's Masterclass is going to be on email and SMS flow hacks, how to get 50% more out of your returning customers, and how to scale your business so that you can apply what we learned today and everything else. And then after that, we've got Google Ads, we got better data, we got affiliate marketing. I got like dozens more of these things. Look at this. We got whole pages, just Masterclass is coming out the yin yang here, folks. By the way, you can also, if you join Disruptor Academy on the premium level, you get access to all of them for free. All that being said, everybody, I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much. And I will talk to you soon. Bye, everyone.